What's going on, Eagles Nation? What's up, NFL World? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Steven Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. Nightly news update here, guys. Jay Valai, so the assistant defensive backs coach. Boy, we pick them really well because they don't even last 10 days, 12 days. Jay Valai's gone, guys. He's going to join Nick Saban's staff, it looks like, out there in Alabama as probably the defensive backs coach, I would imagine. I mean, look, I was impressed with the little bit I saw of the guy. He looked like definitely kind of that in-your-face motivational type that, hey, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I do trust the direction of the staff. Like, they seem to have a good feel for who the good, kind of coaches are for technique and things like that. So, it's unfortunate. I mean, it stinks. I mean, I definitely kind of warmed up to the idea of having him here. And, hey, man, that would have been I thought, a really good hire for the Eagles. And I was kind of wondering if he was going to get a better job really quickly. I didn't anticipate it to be within 12 days, but nonetheless, it happened the way it happened, guys, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. In other news, boy, free agency's kicking off, and boy, the rumors are swimming already. The Eagles still remain $49 million over the cap. I would have the feeling that the Eagles, if they move Carson Wentz, we're going to get kind of a Nick Folesian type contract situation with Jacksonville, where he converted some of his base salary into bonus money to create some cap savings for his outgoing team. I would suspect that that's probably what's going to happen with Carson Wentz if a deal finally does get reached. But as it sits right now, guys, we're $49 million over the cap, and we're still talking about free agents, which, yes, guys, we're going to create some space, guys. I told you, I laid out some of the ways in which we would create some of that money, but I don't know how much money it's going to be. Interesting news popping up about Jalen Reagor, though. Jalen Reagor, I guess, kind of speaking out, saying that he would love to add J.J. Watt here. Yeah, me too. I guess my question would be is, how willing would J.J. Watt be to take IOUs? Because, boy, he's going to have to come on a very friendly deal to make it here in Philadelphia, guys. I mean, yeah, of course, that would be awesome. That'd be great. I'd sign up for that 100 times out of 100 times. I don't care that he's had a lot of injuries. I don't care that he's aging. He's still a very good football player, and it's really hard to find that kind of talent. It seems very unlikely to me. But nonetheless, I like where the young man's head at. Yeah, I would love to have J.J. Watt here. No doubt about that one. Other news kind of breaking that I wanted to talk about in terms of like speculation and news is that the Raiders may release Tyrell Williams. This is a guy that has a lot of experience with Nick Sirianni. And yeah, I'd have interest here, guys. I don't know about you guys, but yes, he's coming off an injury. That's unfortunate. If this is, and he's probably going to get priced out of the, let me just start off by saying, guys, it's very likely Tyrell Williams gets priced out of what the Eagles could afford here. But with Alshon going, with, D-Jack's definitely probably done, you can make an argument that Marquise Goodwin could rework his deal, go down to $1 million or so from $4 million, save the Eagles $3 million, and you still keep a veteran who's got a lot of speed and can do some things. But the appeal here to Tyrell Williams is how well he played underneath Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni was his wide receiver coach during his 2016 campaign with the Chargers, where he ended up catching like 69 passes for over 1,000 yards and hit for 7 touchdowns. When you look at what Nick Sirianni is going to do to the scheme here, if you look at something like, over routes and drag routes and corner routes, those kind of, what I was telling you guys is going to be a staple of Nick Sirianni's scheme. Guys, he had 35 targets, 31 of which were catchable targets, 26 receptions on those routes, guys. Only had 4 drops on those routes, 381 yards. Here's the kicker, guys. Of this 381, only 96 were through the air. It was a lot of yak. We're going to be looking for guys that can pick up that yak. I mean, yak contact, 55 yards. I mean, he's not exactly a run-you-over type, but it's interesting. He broke 7 tackles off of those 26 receptions, guys. 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns on the year off of that. Like, yes, he could be a sneaky signing. This is not someone you sign to depend upon, per se, guys, but he's one of those guys that's, he's not he's not a spring chicken, guys. You're not getting a 24-year-old, obviously, but this is a guy that has familiarity with the system. He's a big target, like 6 foot, 200-some pounds. Like, he's barely over 200 pounds, but I mean, he's a 6'4" kind of target. He's about as old as some of the receivers that, well, he's a little younger than some of the receivers, but he's about as old as a Marquise Goodwin. He's like 29-ish. I know this is not the pick you guys are going to want to hear in terms of the signings, and And like I said, guys, I still feel like he's going to get overpriced, but a guy that's familiar with the scheme that can gain you yak if you can keep him healthy. And I know that's like, Dave, what are you doing to us, man? You just said the key word, keep him healthy. When have we done that with any player? I hear you. The only thing I can say is at some point, guys, I mean, the fortune's got to change. I mean, how many freaking years in a row can this be the storyline? At some point, we've got to catch the lucky side of health. But, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying that you use a guy like this to take away snaps from anybody, but at some point, you got to reconceive the construction of the roster, and you got to get guys that kind of fit your scheme. And, I mean, this one would seem like, something that's idealized. I mean, the problem being is, guys, is he's probably going to catch interest. I mean, if it wasn't for injuries, I think his time in Oakland would have gone a lot better. But, because of injuries, he still put up decent numbers in 2019, though. I mean, 42 catches there, 650 some yards, 6 touchdowns. Like, the guy gets touchdowns, man. I can tell you that. This guy gets touchdowns. He's got that lengthy frame. I know some of you guys are going to want the draft avenue, and I totally get it. And this is not, my opinion, you look at a guy like Terrell Williams. I don't know that this is necessarily a guy you got to jump on early in free agency. I mean, this could be a guy that maybe you kind of let free agency, because there's a lot of big names coming out there. Like, maybe kind of see if he hangs out past the draft and then circle back to see if you couldn't get a team-friendly deal here. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, guys. I mean, I could understand that, but I'm also not, like, hoping that's going to happen, or am I predicting it'll happen. It's just an interesting name. I still think you face the issue of money. Like, no matter who you talk about in terms of free agency, you face the issue of money. On some final ending notes for tonight, guys, I had a very, very good conversation with Max Brown today. I'm going to be releasing a series of videos that break down the conversations we had. We talked about everything from his playing time we talked about Carson Wentz to Jalen Hurts to just fundamentals of playing the position. I mean, we talked about the mental health aspects of playing football. Like, very interesting conversation, guys. I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. And to end today's video, I will leak to you guys a little element of that conversation. And guys, look for that starting on Monday. I'm going to start releasing the little clips of these. I'm going to package them up into probably like a 3 to 5 video series, and it'll start on Monday night. So I really hope you guys stick around to watch those next week, because guys, it was a great conversation. I think you're going to really enjoy the things that we talked about. So, all right, y'all, here's that leaked information, or that leaked clip.
NFL, but a little bit more about who I am. Back in the day, way back in the high school ranks, I was the #1 quarterback in the country coming out of high school. So I was Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield's class, Josh Allen's class, those guys. I'm 26 years old, and I went to USC. Like I said, was a big recruit. Did some things there, a little